Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us. Welcome back to my living room.
Hey,
we're here.
We're here, we're there.
Coming at you live.
No, we're not live.
Yeah.
We're quite a few weeks away. They already know how the sausage is made here.
They do?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Hi. Welcome back.
We're going to talk about big kids today.
Big kids.
Yeah, and by
for our
that,
district.
Yes, that means grades 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Though I find it fascinating because we're having UTK soon enough.
Yeah.
Universal
California
Transitional Kindergarten.
Yes.
Which should just be preschool, let's be real. Because transitional was like, linguistically,
yes,
it should just be preschool. But regardless, you're saying California.
Well, California just mandated that elementary schools would add a transitional kindergarten class
for all peoples,
for everybody. So we should have a talk about that later.
But I just find it fascinating. Lower grade already was kindergarten to third, which is 4 grades.
Yeah.
UTK is 5.
Now it's 5. Yeah.
Versus 3. Little one. But anyways.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. What do you find easier to teach? Do you find the lower grades or the upper grades more challenging?
I remember my first year, I would say upper graders.
Okay.
I went from, when you go from high school to elementary, that was a hard shift. Now, I feel like I'm always biased based off cohort. The cohort will always get it. Like if but
that makes sense. Yeah.
I think I really enjoy at the moment the lower graders a lot. I can be more dumb with them.
And they'll go with it.
Yeah. Like there's some really dumb stuff. Like if you there's some just like really just low hanging fruit. And if you say it, they'll just lose. You'll be their best friend forever.
Yep.
But also on top of that,
I'm assuming anything that has to do with bathroom humor.
No, not really. Chicken nugget. Just
okay, got
even
it.
as low as chicken nugget. Kids upper graders, they've known me for a long time, so they appreciate chicken nugget humor.
Got it.
The lower graders like, what? He's just say chicken nugget? It's the best thing.
Yeah.
Regardless. But yeah, I enjoy lower graders a lot. Also because I feel like the content that I've become the most settled in is lower grade.
Yeah.
Upper grade, there's so many facets they could go towards, and it's hard for me to choose which one do I want to go with. So yeah, how about you?
I've always found the upper graders to be a little bit more of a challenge because of the relationship piece. You really have to have strong relationships with the older ones. The little kids are like, what? You want to sing me songs? I love you. Literally. Like I had a kindergarten girl pop up out of her seat like 10 times to give me a hug and tell me she loved me. And it's like, I love you too. Thank you for telling me that. Like, it's great. I'll take it. And I really enjoy, I've said it before, walking into a room full of people who are happy to see me.
True. Yeah.
It just does not happen in 6th grade.
Though right now it is fascinating because we're at this weird crux that we have 2 grades of bunker babies.
Yes.
And so that affects everything. Like, I feel more confident in my material for lower grade. But holy piffle.
They're difficult to manage.
Yeah.
I feel like I've finally gotten a pretty good handle on mine. I better knock on some wood right now. Good thing I still have this cajon sitting here.
If you don't know, look at episode 76.
Exactly. Yeah. They took longer to get a handle on than my kindergartners usually do. But I've kind of like figured that out. And I still feel like material wise, I've always felt like I could just walk in and riff.
Yeah.
And have a great time. And that's really my strength is the lower grades. And it's funny because I always wanted to be a high school choir director.
I wonder why. It's because more so. Sorry, I didn't really help with that train of thought.
That's okay.
We learn. We become what we see.
Yeah.
When we see what we do what we know, and if we know
what we remember.
Yeah. Like, well, I didn't have any elementary music, so especially for me, but
yeah. Well, and choir was like my life for years. I loved it. It felt like home, and so I wanted to do that. And
Kirsten had some really interesting thoughts last episode about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well,
look back at that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, and so then I always thought I would be better, I guess, at the older kids
Sure.
because I love them one-on-one, and I like groups of them who want to be in a classroom with you, which is what electives are.
Right.
And so teaching general music where you've got whole classes full of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders who didn't choose to be with you,
Yep.
That's still a challenge.
And it's probably even more to challenge because they are recognizing their sense of self more.
And they're testing those boundaries.
Yep.
That's also the age of my boys at home.
Ay.
And I think that that's not a small part of it because I deal with the preteen stuff at work, and then I don't want to run out of patience at home, but I run out of patience for it at home. It's like, oh, I've been teaching you all day. Have it at work, have it at home. And it's just where they are in their development. They're establishing who they are. They're testing, what can I get away with? They're realizing they're their own person for really the first time and kind of trying to figure out what that all means. Yeah. It's tricky.
I think I'm in agreement with you. For once, no. No, I think I'm in agreement with you. The element of elective was really what changes things because the students I get along with so well are my choir kids, are my band kids, and they chose to be there for the most part. There are a couple of exceptions.
They want to be with you.
And so, it's really nice to foster relationships with students who want to be in your classroom during lunchtime. I might not be always wanting to have my lunch door open, but just because it's hard. It's a lot of time.
It is.
Yeah.
It's hard. You're tired at lunch. Yes, you want to close the door. Yeah. But those relationships are really important to build.
And they're precious.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. And any of those wins that we can get, we need to get. I think the other piece of it is little kids just don't have all those social hangups because they haven't really figured out the whole sense of self thing yet. They're not there yet in their brain development. But when you get into the preteens, then it's really important for them to look cool with their friends.
Yeah. Social capital.
Yes, it is so important. And what their friends think of them is way more important to them than what their teachers or their parents think of them at that age. And that's hard to work with sometimes.
It is. I think it's been interesting on my end. Choir has been the biggest it's ever been in my school.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for that, but it's also a little much. Right now we have for upper
what are you
grade,
up to now?
For lower grade, we have over 80.
That's amazing.
For upper grade, we have a little over under 60.
That's so cool.
But one of the things that really gets people is the notion of, hey, you should, hey, you're my friend, you should join me. And I have kids that don't care for the content, but they're there because their friends are, and then they eventually relish. Well, they eventually either they accept it or they enjoy it. One or the other, But it starts with that social capital because their friends were in it.
They want to hang out with their friends.
They want to hang out with their friends. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I guess just the observation of just how social capital has brought the numbers in for choir for me has been weird, I guess, in a good way.
But it's really important. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think trying to figure out exactly what to teach, because like you said, you can go in a lot of different directions with older kids because they have a lot of ability. It's like we've laid this really strong foundation. I get them through third grade. They can read music pretty decently well at that point. They're at least reading quarter notes, whole notes, half notes, and quarter rests really well in 4/4 time. They know what it feels like to play recorder and ukulele, and so by the time they get into fourth grade, it's like, well, we could go. Are we going to play really cool mallet stuff? Are we going to play ukulele? Are we going to really go hard on the orchestral strings? Are we going to bust the guitars out? We could do a tour of all of it.
And for me also, I actually observed Jesse Rogers and see how he breaks down his process. Like, or do I want to go digital media? It's like, there's a lot of venues. Music is huge.
It is. It's huge. And once you have that foundation, they can take it in any direction that they want to take it.
Have you ever had different classes within the same grade level go different directions?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I try to give them as much choice as I can. And some classes as a whole really love the orchestral strings.
Okay.
Like they pick up those violins, violas, and cellos, and that they want that. And it's not my background and it's not my strongest thing to teach, but I want to empower that.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so I've been trying to grow in that. Some of them love the idea of being able to play a guitar, and so we try to go there. I try to give them a little bit of choice. At the beginning of every quarter, I do a what do you want to learn in music board for every class, and just give them a marker and go.
Cool.
And it's always good to look back on those posters. I keep them in a drawer, like the big flat poster drawers that we've got in our rooms. And I try to check off as many things as they say they want to do.
Okay.
And sometimes it'll be stuff that surprises me. Like, I came up with a lot of dances with the rhythm sticks because they don't want to touch each other. And learning folk dances is really a good thing for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it promotes a lot of joy, but they're so weird about holding hands and touching each other that I modified a lot of them so they're holding sticks, and then they just cross sticks or whatever. And
it's funny how just
I call them stick dances.
It's funny how just touching someone has that inhibitor.
Yes.
It makes sense, but it's just if you think about it from an outside point of view, it's like, I don't know. It's funny how that creates such the level of resistance it creates.
Yeah, oh my goodness! You tell a room full of sixth graders to hold hands.
I still remember my first year where I had sixth grade. This cohort of sixth graders was I argue now my second hardest group I've ever worked with. But I remember I was bringing my kids out of music. We were transitioning to recess, but they saw what dance was doing because they were actually outside for this event. And one of the girls, oh my gosh, the boys and girls have to hold hands for dance. No, wash our hands.
We always wash hands before and after.
Yeah.
I think I told you my procedure for that too. I can get through a whole class. Well, so I've got fish on the floor. They're fish-shaped sit spots, and I have the kids go to my sink and they get a squirt of soap and get their hands wet. They get a squirt of soap, and then they walk around the circle, and it's a big enough circle to fit the whole class because that's where they stand. And I tell them to either move upstream or downstream depending on the activity that we're doing. So they get their soap, they walk around the fish circle in a whole line, and then they come back, rinse off their hands, and I hand them a paper towel, and I can get every single one of their 31 grubby hot Cheeto dust Taki hands clean in 3 minutes flat.
Hot Cheeto dust. You're talking about like millennials, the gamers. Who does that?
They eat Flamin' Cheetos? They do. Yeah.
Oh, Flamin' Hot. Oh yeah, yeah. Right. I'm thinking orange. No, red. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. The Flamin' Hot Cheetos for sure. Like that's a thing. That and Takis. There
Takis
were
forever.
A surprising number of people who gave out Takis for Valentine's Day. We're talking like the family size bags. Like,
family size?
Yes.
Ooh, not fun size.
No, family size.
They want a family
bag.
with this.
Not for the whole class. This was only for the crush. Like in 6th grade, that was the thing.
Going for that family.
I guess.
Wink, wink.
Oh God. Nothing says love like family size bag of Takis.
It was interesting. I went up to 6th grade camp to see my students. It's related. It's related.
I believe you.
I went up to see the kids for a day and whatnot. It was great. But we were partnering with another school who apparently always has their camp during Valentine's week. And they have a whole session on Valentine's Day where they exchange cards and whatnot. But also like the teachers deck out all the cabins in very Valentine's Day kind of like aesthetics. Like, huh? Interesting. I don't know how I feel about this, but okay. I'm just a visitor.
Oh man, whatever. 6th grade Valentine's Day is so awkward. It's just glorious.
I don't really witness this. I just don't. I just turn my head away. And,
I love hanging out in the lounge and getting the 6th grade gossip. It's good stuff. I think so. I've been on a mission to kind of like figure these guys out, and especially since our current 6th graders, what were they? 4th graders when we were online, 3rd graders when everything shut down.
Yep.
And so that was an important developmental year.
That's the big jump.
Yeah. They really go from being a little kid to a big kid.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just full on checked out when we were online, because why would you pay attention in school when you could play Minecraft instead, or whatever they do, Roblox? I don't know what the kids do.
Minecraft is better than Roblox. I said it to you, everyone.
Okay.
Minecraft is better. Fight me.
I could not care less.
It's dope stuff.
Okay. I will take
musically
your word
also
for it.
Musically worth checking out as well.
Yeah, I've done. Okay. I think I told you I've done music, like a movement to the Minecraft music.
You just showed this.
Yes,
you're right.
because they liked it, so it's fine. I don't know. I'm not a video game person.
Roblox sucks.
I'm not into them. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. 6th grade, they I've just been trying to win them over. They've been a little bit checked out on me, and I felt like we were making some progress last year. I was just starting to figure them out, and just realizing like I just need to remember to play with them and kind of bring back the stuff that they really liked in 3rd grade, because they were a very enthusiastic class in 3rd grade. And so I had some old videos and some photos, and just reminded myself like what were they really into, what captured their imagination, and Takis, obviously. And I realized they needed more joy from me, I think, and a lot of my personal worry about how am I going to engage these kids was rubbing off on them. And I think that I realized they've had so many years now of a lot of adult worry, and kids are sponges like that. They pick it up.
Especially during that big jump.
Yes.
When they're understanding their moment self, and then also understanding the world around them.
Yeah.
And then everything falls apart around them.
Yeah.
And then the adults who they think they should look up to.
We didn't know what we were doing either.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. And they absorbed not only our worry for like ourselves and our society, but our worry for them. Yeah. And that stresses them the heck out. Oh, yeah. And so this morning, I got to school really early, and I just took some time to really breathe and center myself, and just set an intention that today was going to be fun. And I've taught these little guys how to sing since they were in kindergarten. They're my first class I've had since they were kindergartners. And it's been really sad to me that I have one class that doesn't want to sing with me. And we start out every single day with song at school. And so I had them on Friday, and we always do our school song on Friday. So I know they know it. It's not difficult. They've sung it like 1,000 times at this point. And they weren't singing with me. And I'm off of, the microphone on Teams. Because that's how we do our morning announcements. And so I just got really goofy, and I started dancing around the room and singing the Finny song, like all up in their faces. And like this girl's like leaning over, like whispering to her friend with her hand over her mouth. Like nobody's going to see that on Teams. Like seriously. And so I just go up to her and I sing like this right in her face, like with my hand over my mouth. And she turned bright red, but then she started singing. And it was like, I just, I did it in a playful way. I didn't do it to embarrass them. Yeah. Well, I kind of did it to embarrass them, but
not to stab at them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Just play and be like, no matter what you do, I am going to be determined to have a good time. And it was nice because I saw in those first 5 minutes of class, I saw some smiles on some kids who've been real frustrated this year. And it changed the tone of the class.
So I like that a lot. I resonate a lot with what you're saying about like the element of adult weight, for lack of a better term, on the students. Yeah. But also, this my 6th graders this year, I've seen such a wonderful not growth or improvement, but definitely there's been opening up compared to last year. And I think part of it has to do with I love my 5th grade team, but the 6th grade team. They took students that were absorbing so much weight, and they understood where they were, and they allowed them to be where they were at, essentially. Yeah. And for your community, it seems like goofiness was a great tool. Yeah. And I think understanding where
for my personality too.
That's true as well. Yes.
And they know me.
Yes.
And I've been their teacher for a long time. And so when Mrs. Pridmore changed from being, the jokester and from playing with them like I have since they were little. That's a good point. I think they really felt that.
And yeah, because we are very unique. We're in very unique positions. They see us from their birth, essentially.
Well, yeah, we watch them grow from babies, and you can't talk to kindergartners the same way you talk to 6th graders. Right. But at the same time, you have to remember, they've known you that long, and that's tricky.
It is tricky. Yeah. And I think we see so many kids. So when we see Santiago again, it's like, all right, you're just it can get to the point where you're just number 1 to 400. Yep. But when they see you weekly, no, I get to see Miss Pridmore. I get to see Mr. Seligman again. Yep. And do they see the face of someone who cares for them? Yep. Do they see the face of someone that was familiar before COVID? Or do they see someone who's stressed as no one's business? And I'm not saying that it's easy, but
Yeah, it's not. And we're not perfect. Like, we're human.
Right.
And we're stressed out.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of years. And I think that a lot of our conversations and our whole jobs have reflected how hard it's been. But I've just been determined to have fun at my job, whether the kids are with me or not. And the funny thing is, they get with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like also, I mean, we've said this before, like rapport is the greatest
It's the
classroom
only
management.
thing that matters. Yeah. Yes, it is the basis of all classroom management.
And so if you're focusing so much on content, like, oh no, we're going to fall. It's like, you're going to lose them. They're gone.
Yeah.
You're going to lose them. They are already gone.
They don't care.
They don't. Like, that's,
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest parts about like upper graders.
Uh-huh.
When they don't care, they don't care.
Yep. And nothing you do can make them.
No.
Yep.
So why not address them where they're at?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another thing I've been kind of worried about too, is just trying all these different things to get them to care. It's like, okay, so you didn't like that. What if I do this? No, you don't like that either. Well,
but what if you just had fun?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did today.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what sounds fun to me today? Playing some ukulele, teaching Omochio. That's what we did.
And I feel like that's probably stuff that you do also when you're for lower graders as well.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're not going to join you, okay, they're going to join you eventually.
Totally.
But with that veneer of like tude and then that veneer of they understand the world more.
Yep.
At least for me, it gets to me more. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to those expectations, like we talk about PBIS a lot in our district and having multiple tiers of emotional support. And so tier 1 is like, you have your classroom expectations, and it's not a list of don't do this and don't do this and don't do this. It's a list of how should they be? And you got to remind them over and over and over again every single time you see them. And it feels repetitive because you've probably said it 7 times that day, but you know, it's there once a week that they're in your classroom. You got to say it again. Like, here is what I expect from you in this room. I ding my bell 1 time, you're quiet. I ding my bell twice, you sit up tall and you give me a nice smile, you know, like, yeah, you have to do it because then when you need to go to a tier 2 intervention where you have to like send someone to the counselor, or you have to have a one-on-one conversation, you need to escalate it to whatever that next level is, then they know, and they've been recently reminded that tier 1 was not there. You got to have the foundation.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was the other piece of it too.
I also wonder sometimes if we as music teachers, because we are seen so much as not daycare, but like, you know, taking over for we're temporary.
Right. We're support teachers. We're seen as support teachers. I'm not saying that we are. I'm saying
depending on the site you're at,
that can be the perception. Yes.
Because of that, sometimes we also perceive our jobs as, oh, the expectation has been set already in the general ed classroom. Yeah. And that's not always the case. Sometimes our ideas for classroom management is better than the general ed classroom.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So when we get them not at 8:00 in the morning, but later on, oh no, it's okay. They already had Mr. Santos. He's already got it down. And by the way, Mr. Santos is awesome at my school. But but sometimes it might not have been established in the morning for them. So why not just start at base level?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
every time I go over my rules and procedures every single class. You have to. The classroom management ability of the general classroom teacher that they spend the majority of their time with makes a huge difference in the difficulty level of getting them to follow our rules and procedures. It's either going to be real easy because they've got a teacher who's got a good grip on it, or it's going to be more of a challenge. But either way, the expectations are the same. And I don't like spending my, small amount of time with a class getting them to walk in a straight, quiet line.
That's not the most fun thing ever?
Oh,
no?
I hate it so much, Sean. I hate it so much. But if I don't make them line up with their toes pointing at the heels of the person in front of them and looking at the back of the head of the person in front of them with their bumpers up, their arms folded, their bubbles in, and make them walk quietly, they will walk all over me by the end of the year. And it'll be a disaster.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know they can do it. Yeah.
Goodness. I don't know. I'm trying to think again my first year teaching because we've had our kids for a long time.
Yeah,
we've established that. Like, how was I my first year at my site? Like, goodness, that must have been a lot of
a disaster. My first year teaching, I had a lot to learn.
Oh man, yeah. So those who are new teachers,
I also had to. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Those who are new teachers, find a community.
Yes.
Seriously, because there are people who want to help out, and like your situation is, you're a first year teacher. It's gonna be a little awkward.
Yeah, and I needed to justify in my own head why it's important that we do certain things like walk in a quiet line. Because I had to ask myself that question as a new teacher, like, why do we make kids walk in lines?
Why do we?
Well, for me, what I've decided is it's safe. It helps me account for all of them. I'm responsible for 24 to 31 kids at a time. I need to be able to quickly count that they're all in line.
Or 32 sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
no, or the beginning of the year, you know.
Sure, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, like a large number of children, they're under my care. I have to know that they are all there and they're not, you can't easily count people who are all zigging and zagging. We're walking by other classrooms on a different schedule, so they need to be quiet in the hallway so that they don't disturb other classes. And it's really the only way to make sure that I have a lot of behavior challenges at my school. It's the only way, walking in a nice, straight, quiet line with those expectations to make sure that nobody's saying something mean or hurting another person in line. So it's an emotional safety issue as well. So that's why, like it seems like all those little things, like they might seem a little tyrannical, I think, especially to a 12-year-old, but they have they have legitimate functions though, like there are reasons we do it. So yeah.
No, they're not. I'm going to put a caveat. My little diddly joke did not exactly come across. But yes, no, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I have to say about that.
That's what I say about that. No, it's true. I have constantly gone back and forth as far as to what degree does quiet need to be quiet? But you're absolutely right. I'm also listing the element of the what someone might say in the quietness of, or in the shroud of a line. You're right.
Yeah. Especially as we teach them how to be good humans and interact with each other kindly again.
Yeah.
It's just how it's got to be. It's the only way that I can guarantee it. And that I can identify it if someone steps out of line, and then I need to talk to them about it. Be like, no, that's not the expectation here at school.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so things that have worked. I found that being outside with big kids as much as possible has been good for us.
Cool.
So any activity that can be outside is outside. We learned how to do steady beats with basketballs. And I played my guitar or my cajon tab, while they bounced basketballs to the beat, to like whole notes or half notes along to it.
You don't like the sound of a basketball being bounced in a portable? Oh wait, you don't have the problem. You don't have the problem.
Remember, I'm the spoiled one. I know, hate all you want. It's fine.
Is it enough?
I can take it. I really can't.
No, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Anything out. Lots of Dalcroze games are done outside. They're just more fun that way, I think. And then, I figure if I want them to be doing the playground clapping games, I should teach them on the playground. And so we do.
Yeah.
And then they make their way outside. And here in Southern California, where it's nice a lot of the time, that's possible. So, yeah.
Except when it's not.
Except when it's not.
Except when
it's really not. Unless it's hailing.
I know, or the wind just picks you up for some reason.
Yeah, it was wild. So that's worked.
Okay.
I found
Cool.
just anything that doesn't make them stick out like a sore thumb too. Like they don't want to be in the spotlight unless they do. And so finding ways to scaffold a lesson to make it attainable for the largest number of kids and help them blend in a group. They really want that. That helps them feel safe. And then when they experience success in a group, then they might be willing to go out on a limb.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For me, what I've found is agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, you witnessed.
What does that look like?
So you witnessed a little bit when I did the ukulele.
That was
workshop.
A rad lesson.
Thank you.
Liked it.
Having students choose what they want corporately,
Student
essentially.
Choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I recently shared at the chapter share for San Diego Orf. This lesson I do with the UKs, where students, as a class, vote on what rhythm they want, also vote what chordal structure they want as well to create a song eventually, which I didn't show in the chapter shares, then break off into groups and whatnot, and they create it as well. But like having agency of choice for the chords, but also agency of like what to call it. And it might be a really dumb name. It might be a name that you don't like the Dodgers song.
Or Quandale Dingle.
No, Quandale Pringle Dingle. Even better. That one, gold. There are, it might make no sense. And I'm sure there are some purists who justifiably would say that's not appropriate because you want to make sure that there's, an organicism or something that has more deeper meaning. And I get where they're coming from.
Have they ever seen the title of a jazz song, though? That's some weird stuff on there.
I mean, some purists don't do jazz.
Okay, fair enough.
But really, like, oh man, I always remember what Dan Nelson. He like the clown. I thought Mark Hemer, if you're listening to this, remind me what was the clown song piece that we played my freshman year? I don't remember.
At Mr. Seligman, no idea.
Where are the clowns? No, Here Come the Clowns.
Here Come the Clowns.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's like, again, I can imagine my sixth graders choosing that as a title piece.
Yeah.
But like really, like having them choose, even like as silly as it might be, as weird choice it might be, even as antithetical as the choice might be to be musically appropriate, if you give them at least some semblance of choice, then at least there's some buy-in.
Yeah.
And even though it might be the quote, like stereotypically the louder boys that choose.
Yeah.
They're also sometimes the ones that are hardest to gain political favor, for lack of a better term.
If you're feeling brave, you could have them write the names down and draw one out of a hat.
Sorry, when we said draw, write the names down, then they draw out the picture of what the album cover would be.
Yeah.
Quandale Pringle Dingle.
Oh gosh, careful! So dumb. Why? We have one sixth grade class. That's what they are. They're the Quandale Dingles. That's what they wanted to be.
You know what?
Like, okay,
but so
it's fine.
Like I remember back in 8th grade, all the way to early as 5th grade, like we had our binders, and I loved drawing on them. Like,
yeah,
I made that binder mine.
Yeah, it's true.
And also, I really appreciate the teachers who allow room for students to change the background of their computers to whatever they want that's school appropriate. Like there is a sense of belongingness to that, to that item. And so same thing with the
I remember how exciting it was to decorate a locker.
What are lockers? I never had lockers.
I had my DC Talk poster.
Hey. I the only lockers I had were gym lockers. That's it. Yeah,
man.
But, it was something.
You're right though. We need to give them agency anywhere we can.
Yeah, anywhere we can.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
And that's what I love about a lot of the ORF activities. Like when there's like break off.
Choice.
Create.
If you can trust them enough to actually stay on task when they break off, which has been a challenge.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, that's been a challenge for me this year.
That's why on Amazon there are shock collars I purchased.
Oh gosh, no, that was a terrible joke.
But alas. But yes,
I think just showing my main goal is just showing them that I still really care about them a lot, and finding as many ways as I can to kind of get that message across. Yeah. And it's really easy to get really frustrated with them and then have a not great human moment, and just sticking to my my rules and not letting them talk me out of it in my own head, because they really will mess with your head. Like, they're tall. They can look you in the eye at that age.
Again, I want to reiterate, I am average height, 5'7". I'm average height.
They can look mean.
But
some of them are taller than me.
No, with that caveat, they're still taller than me.
Yes.
I tell students at the beginning of the year in 6th grade, at the end of this year, a third of you, some of you are already taller than me, but a third of you will be at least a third of you will be taller than me.
They're huge. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Sometimes you gotta stay on a chair.
They are so enormous by the end of 6th grade. It's not okay. It's absolutely insane.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Yeah.
It's not okay.
You know what? And the other thing is, don't argue with them ever.
Unless it comes to the point of that someone else's or their safety.
Okay, yes.
But otherwise,
absolutely. But they will try to manipulate you into an argument.
Yeah.
And that's because they want to rise out of you. They get a kick out of it.
Mm-hmm. But I get a kick out of it when I'm on that defensive mode.
Okay, yeah, you do.
No. But you can empathize with that. Like,
sure.
If you are on the defensive mode, they can get a kick out of relaying the element of fighting back. So no, dude, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Like,
yep, nope. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. This is school. We don't do that at school.
We don't pick other people's nose. That's not okay. You definitely don't eat it. Oh my gosh, stop that.
Do not engage. I had my cooperating teacher when I was student teaching tell me that over and over again. Don't argue with them. And it was really excellent advice as a parent too. Don't argue with them.
Wait, sorry. Cooperating teacher. So formerly
master teacher. Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking that you had a student teacher. Got it. No, yeah.
No.
That would have been interesting. Your student teacher teaching you, hey, Ms. Pridmore, you should
No, when I was 22 and in front of high schoolers and letting them manipulate me and tie me into knots. She always let me fall on my face too in front of them. And I appreciated that. But when I was crying in her office later, don't argue with them. It was good advice.
Yeah.
Don't argue with them.
I learned that the long way.
I think we all have to.
Yeah, you do.
Because that one's smarts. Yeah.
And also, it just changes with each person how they argue.
Yeah.
And so you just have to understand the broader scope of what's actually going on.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, a lot of us become teachers because we liked school when we were kids.
Nerds.
I mean,
we were.
Right?
Yeah.
We are.
I'm sorry, I'm not a nerd.
And the thing is, like, when you're a teacher, all the other kids are there too. So
it's fascinating.
Got to learn how to work with it.
I remember I wrote a stupid master's thesis, a really dumb one. Aww. But I liked the notion of it, but it was not applicable to me whatsoever. But it's correlative to what we're talking about right now. I remember I was at a table, and at least in California, I'm sure other parts in the country, I don't know. There's something called the Gifted and Talented Education Program, GATE.
Yep.
And so I was a GATE kid. And so we were in the classroom for our master's program, and they found out I was a GATE kid. And so it was like, oh, yeah, you should do the homework. You're smart enough. And I was like, ha, tee hee. And then the joke went a little dry. But then I realized, like, there were some people who like struggled in like high school who are being teachers. Like, wait, these people are really good. They know how to run a class.
Right.
They weren't gifted and quote unquote gifted and talented. Rather, they know how to like work tests. That's what it is.
They weren't good test takers. Yeah. That's what it always comes down to.
They weren't good test takers of how they wanted, they being the man.
Yeah.
But really, like, they're really good teachers and know how to work with class management, especially since they knew what it was like being the student who quote unquote struggled. And so, like, does that make them better teachers? And so I wrote my thesis on that. And unfortunately, like, because being a first-year teacher and also making a thesis at the same time was rough nubs. I got a null hypothesis, but I still hold the notion that those who are gifted and talented growing up doesn't make you a better teacher whatsoever. And so, like,
it's your ability to break down information in a way that someone can learn it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But I guess maybe for the class management, the element of that like having that empathy and having that, oh, I understand how this kid is going through. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, that's part of helping someone learn it. They have to want to learn from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't just teach to the highs. We don't teach the ones who want to be there. We teach to everyone.
We teach them all.
Yeah.
This was a good conversation.
It was.
I liked it.
I approve.
Back with a Spiccato after the break. I want to take a quick break and thank my husband, Bryan, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information. I have my Spiccato.
No, you don't. Not yet.
Yeah, I do.
We have a left turn first.
Fine.
Put that down. Thank you, everyone, for being with us for 78 episodes. Oh, my goodness. We're getting up there. We're getting old. My knees feel it with that number. Anywho, thank you all for so much for being part of this. As you mentioned every week, though, it really helps hitting that like and subscribe button to make sure that this community grows more and more so there's more visibility and whatnot. Also, if you're not a YouTube listener, you can always be one. Just jump on because it's free. Google, makes that work. You can always leave us a review on any podcast listening app. Leave us 5 stars. I know I'm a musician, but I can only count to 5. That's the odd part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways, and also, if you want to help support these lights keep on beaming upon us and these microphones are running, go on patreon.com/CH Classroom. I appreciate this elevator music going on in the background.
It's take 5.
I know, but I know.
This is counting to 5.
I know.
5 stars.
I know.
Okay.
Patreon.com/CH Classroom, where you can get a lot of cool stuff, merch, and also other lesson ideas, which when we don't suck. But and if you can't drop us a buck, that's totally fine. This podcast is always free as it should be.
We still love you.
Yeah.
All right. Can I show you my Spiccato now?
Do it. Show me.
This was a birthday present from my sister and my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law, hey Chandan, was born in Pakistan. He is Sikh, and his family lives in India, or part of it. A lot of it lives here too. And so this is what they gave me. These are called Ghungroo bells.
Ghungroo bells.
Yeah,
okay.
they go by a couple different names, but that's what they told me they were called.
Cool.
And you wear them on your ankles.
All right.
And they're dance bells. And so it looks like it's about 3 by 10 little tiny jingle bells on a nice little panel, and it's all woven together. The back is kind of a velvety feeling.
Oh, this feels good.
Yeah, doesn't it? It's delightful.
It's the bee's knees.
I really enjoy it a lot.
Okay. So what would you do?
With Ghungroo.
Ghungroo. Okay.
Ghungroo bells.
Excuse me.
What would you do?
I feel...
Usually wear them on both ankles, but you don't have to. For
my
this.
initial thought is weak.
Go with
my
it.
initial. Well, I'm gonna start with it, but I want to do more. Soundscapes. You can always.
Yeah.
But the fact that it has an ankle element is the key thing that makes it unique. You can get sleigh bells. It's fine. This is like. It also feels good. Feels good. And it has a very much more bright sound than a lot of sleigh bells have.
They do. That's why I really like them. They're a much higher sound.
So in fact, maybe going back to soundscapes.
And they're softer.
Yeah.
It's a softer sound than sleigh bells.
You can definitely, shake it, but also. Let's go like a light raindrop.
I've like have an image of like hitting the jackpot on a slot machine while you're doing that. That's the time I spent in Nevada coming out.
Also being a basic person I am.
Ta ta ti ti ta.
Just place it on your ankle and do movement with it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun to do that. Yeah. I told them I really want to find another one too. They have this cool store in their town, and they joke that it's the Indian Room of Requirement because anything that they want from India, they can find there. And the guy just like pulled these out of the rafters of this store.
Cool.
And, I love it. They get me all kinds of fun instruments.
What would you do?
Well, so I've been wearing them as I walk to go pick up classes because it's just fun to jingle down.
Oh yeah.
To jingle jangle down the hallway. Exactly.
Knock, knock.
Literally.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Especially in conjunction with my cajon. I can just. I'm a one-woman band over here. It's
74.
pretty fun.
6, sorry.
Yeah, it was whatever. Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
My cajon tab. Love that thing. Send me a free one. I want one. I want another one. Again, this episode is not brought to you by Listen Drums,
but it could be.
It's really fun to show the kids videos of these being used by dancers from India, and to kind of introduce them to Chandan told me he did Bhangra dancing, and there's a different name for it when it's girls, and I can't remember what that is.
Let us know.
Yeah. I'll try to be better and update you later in another episode. But it's really cool to see the traditional dancing done and just how they use it.
And that would be actually a good, as you walk to it, walking back to class, and then you showcase what this is actually. It's not just sleigh bells on your ankle. It's
it's actually used in traditional dance. The other thing I did with it is I put it on my shoulder, and it gives me some control, so I could play my ukulele and reach up and tap it. It's just another sound. Yeah, you do. Yeah. It's another sound to play with, so you can kind of bounce your shoulder with it, or use it, to illustrate a story. There's a lot of fun uses for it.
Cool.
Yeah, or to drown out the sound of a ringing phone in the background. All right, there you go. Those are my Ghungroo. Round of the week. So I brought us a round of the week. Again, I can't believe that we haven't done this round yet.
Which one? Yeah.
The Sing Together that I did text you, and you should pull up right now. So this is day 1 for Alicia Knox's ORF level 1, which we didn't get to take with her, but a lot of people in our district did. Yeah. And she's wonderful.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi. It's good to see you, Alicia. Or good to say your name out loud into a microphone.
Good to imagine seeing you.
Good to imagine seeing you. Oh my gosh.
We're rocking it today.
Oh my gosh, we really are. Okay, right. So here it goes. Sing together, merrily, merrily sing. Sing together, merrily, merrily sing. Sing. Sing together, merrily, merrily 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 sing. Sing. It's kind of fun to throw that octave in there. I like that. Yeah. And she had this whole cute movement thing to it. So for sing together, you walk in a circle, and then sing together, merrily, merrily sing, and then you switch directions. Sing together, merrily, merrily sing, and then sing, you touch your toes, sing, touch your belly, sing, reach up high, touch the sky, sing, toes, sing, back to your belly, sing. Yeah.
You can't touch the sky if you do it on what's written on this version. So
it's true.
Yeah. We got to touch the sky. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Got to do it. Awesome. Crystal, great conversation.
Same. Yeah, totally.
If people want to have conversations with you, how can they sometimes try to reach you?
If I have the spoons to get back to you.
Spoons. My spoon is too big.
My heart wants to. Mrs. Pridmore on Instagram, at Finny Vappa on Twitter.
Awesome. And you can reach me at Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman, on all the socials. Kind of Hive. Hive's kind of after. If you follow Hive, you saw what happened. It's kind of just like mellowed out.
Oh, got it.
It's mellowed out. Yeah, it was more so like they decided to do big bug fixes and like security updates, which was really good, but it's run by 2 people. So it's like, it took a while.
Okay.
And then the momentum just kind of died. Anyways.
It's fine.
At Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman on all the socials. At CH Classroom on all the socials for us. Though it's CH Classroom, I think it is for YouTube. Yeah, we've changed it up. That all said, and you always email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
The Chaotic Harmony podcast is a joint project between Crystal Pridmore and Jonathan Seligman. You can find us online at chaoticharmonyclassroom.com. You can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail and let us know what you think. Give us feedback about what you would like to hear in future episodes. We're on all the socials. Find us on facebook.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom. You can find us on Twitter at CHClassroom, Instagram at Chaotic Harmony Classroom, and you can even find our episodes on YouTube. Chaotic Harmony is the name of our channel. Special thanks to Bryan Pridmore for his help with production and equipment. www.pridmoria.com. Sorry, Henrietta.
Do you have a chicken coop?
No, I want one though, and I would definitely have a chicken named Henrietta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Is that the name of your rubber chicken?
No, it's not. It should be. Okay. No, they have really random names like Bob.
I don't know if you saw. I posted on Instagram. Like I bought a bear. So I was up in camp. Bought a bear, and I'm having the kids name the bear. And like they're gonna, the 6th graders will choose it. They're gonna vote. But I've had some. You have your slew of names. You have your names that are descriptive, like chocolate because it's brown, or like I don't know, vanilla because it has the white texture, whatever. And then you also have your names like Bob or Biden or like. And then you have your very mimetic names like Mr. Beast. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Or you have Quandle Dingle. Quandale Pringle Dingle.
What is that thing?
So the thing is, there actually is a guy in Quandale.
I know. Yeah. I had to Google it to make sure it wasn't inappropriate. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, why do you think he's funny?
Because it's just dumb.
Okay.
That's why.